Welcome to Hypnotic Monte. First of all, thanks for your interest. This will be a very different kind of publication for me because most people know me as a strict and classic mentalist, and this piece is not mentalism at all. I consider this an hypnotic piece, not a pseudo-hypnotic piece, because I am hypnotist. I practice hypnosis every day, and sometimes when we call a routine a pseudo-hypnosis, I understand what you mean is that there is no formal trance, there is no need of a genuine hypnotic kind of phenomena. But if we understand hypnosis, everything is hypnosis. Everything is a different trance. So that's why I said that this piece can truly work as a real hypnotic induction, because I have used this as a way to create a real trance, and it works. Again, because a trance is something that is available in any action, right? So even, let's say, a card trick works as a hypnotic induction. So let's see a performance, basic performance that can give you the basic aspects, and then let's go in a deeper way to the sophistications and the more advanced uses, which includes a real hypnotic trance. Do you know the classic three-card Monte, right? The find the lady, the scam that some people do with sleight of hand. You are sure where is the money card, but you will always lose because most people use sleight of hand. But years ago, I met someone that didn't use any sleight of hand, but he uses hypnosis. And as soon as you are entering into a trance, you can't follow the different one. And this version is very strange, even absurd, and you will understand why. Watch. 3 cards. Apparently they are the same, without any type of face, but there is a difference at the back. Can you see which is the different card? The blue one. Yeah, very good. You are in a trance right now. No, be very careful. I never played this game for money. What is the difference? The red one. But watch. As soon as I snap my fingers for you, and maybe for other people in the room, the blue card is now the different one. Never played this game. The trance is so strong. Watch very carefully. No sleight of hand. Where is the money card? The different one. In my pocket. No. Never win. Never play. You will never win. Now, what is the different card? The blue card in the middle, there is no different card. They are all the same. You are in a hypnotic trance. This is the explanation of the hypnotic Monte. The basic kind of structure, the basic phases that you need to follow. It uses very little sleight of hand. You need to create a finesse, especially in one move that you will use. But it's very simple, and it's very fascinating how we use the classic approach of the 3-card Monte with the faces, but now at the back. So it's very kind of clear, very honest, and at the same time established in a very kind of clear way that you are using hypnosis, right? So before I show the cards, as you saw in the performance, I do this with the participant. Watch me, and fantastic, very good. Don't say you are into a trance now. Don't say that. Keep indirect, right? So I use the minimal himber that you can get at Arcanosophy as a holder. And let me show you the 4 cards. Very simple. 2 red cards with spirals, 1 blue card with spirals, and 1 blank card. The blank card is at the top. That's the configuration, right? Very simple. The first slide that we will use is the classic frustration count. If you don't know it, you show the face of the bottom card while moving, right? This comes from Tommy Wonder. And then you do this, right? Very simple, showing that the cards are not different at the face. Again, I don't say 3 blank cards. It is obvious, right? There is no difference at the cards at the face, but at the back, there's one different one, right? And what I did is not a scanner spread. I will show you later what I mean by a scanner spread, if you know what I mean. This is just a display that doesn't change the order of the cards. So I put my hand, I hold in this 3-point hold. I use my palm to peel one and to peel the other, right? So I show clearly that the different card is which color? The blue. Blue, really? And now I do the scan spread. And when I do the scan spread, obviously the different card changes. So now we start to create kind of the hypnotic hallucination. And you are not using a sleight of hand. That's very important to say. And obviously the actions that you do need to be very slowly. Even if you use a sleight of hand, in this case, doesn't need to feel like, right? Because in my approach, I am a mentalist, so I don't do a sleight of hand. I deal with the mind. And in this case, again, it's not a card trick, it's not a gambling routine, but it's a hypnotic piece. And you can even use this as an induction, and we will talk about later, right? So now, when you do this kind of spread, you show that the different card changes. Now, as you can see, and it's very important for you to follow this with the cards, I need to change the order, right? So now, the double is in here, I deposit. I say, now the card, which is the different? The red card. Apparently, right? And then I do another scan spread. So now I hold the double in here, right? So now in my right hand, hold a double, which is a double red card. And when I deposit this at the top, you say, but now watch what happens. Which is the different one? The red. And you just laugh and enjoy the hypnotic process, right? And it's not a laugh about making the people dumb. Not at all. It's about kind of the fascination of yourself as the one that's also experiencing this weird phenomenon, right? Which is beautiful. Very kind of humane approach to the trigger Monte. So now, again, you reverse the order. So now the different one apparently is on the middle. You hold the double in here, and the double now contains another blue one. And basically, for the third phase, you need to switch this one for this one. And what I do for that is to create this classic kind of move in the trigger Monte or color Monte, in which we deposit the double. And then you say very slowly, watch what happens now with the different card, right? And when I do this, I slide the single, I move the single. So this one is really the blank card that you will lead away. Obviously, because the participant only thinks that there is one blue card, you will deposit the white blank one and you will keep all the spiral cards, right? So one more time, you do this, you move and you say very slowly where I put the different card on the pocket. You are into a trance, right? And you make, again, it's not that the card comes back, but that the perception of the movement never happened, right? So again, this is about hypnosis. This is not about card tricks or hands moving quickly. No, it's about doing an hypnotic experience. This is never happening. There is no red, there is no blue card, there is no putting into the pocket. The different is in the middle. And you say, but you know what? The most weird thing is that there is no difference in these cards. These cards are all the same, and that's a big climax, right? When you show the faces of the cards, apparently blank cards, now they have a spiral. Now, in my context, I like this because it's a symbol of hypnosis. Maybe you want to keep jokers or aces or a personalized message, right? All possible options. The performance they give you is just the basics of the hypnotic Monte. There's a lot of moves as well that you can add if you want, right? But the invitation is always for you to keep the script and the subscript, the subtext very clearly. This is not a card trick. You said most people do this with the sleight of hand. But I knew a guy that uses hypnosis, right? And this type of script is very interesting because you are talking apparently from another person, but you are doing yourself, right? So you are showing as someone special, someone different. Most people do this with a sleight of hand. I don't need a sleight of hand because I have the power of hypnosis. So let's see it one more time. The frustration count, you show the cards without difference from the face, but at the back, which is the different one? The blue. First, hallucination. You reverse, which is the different now? The red. But watch me. Now, what is the different? The blue. Again, just reverse order. So now you deposit the blue card, you do the color Monte change, you put it into the pocket. The pocket, no, it's not in here. But you know, it's the same, right? Again, you can change the faces at the middle. I prefer to keep it in this way, very simple. 3 very clear moments in which, first of all, the card was the blue, and then the red, and then the red, and then the blue in the pocket, the blue never in the pocket, and then the final revelation. So let me show you another variation in which I use other set of cards. If I have more time with the group, if I want to create kind of a lead-in to the hypnotic Monte, I can use another set of cards that makes complete sense, that allows the participant to see kind of a prelude. And in this case, we will use just 3 cards. There's no difference in the backs. 1 money card. You can use a joker, a queen of hearts, an ace of diamonds. In this case, I prefer to use a hand-drawn money card, in which you will say there is no quick movements, just a little bit of shuffling and a snap. Now, watch very carefully. This is the money card, right? Very carefully. I will put it in my sleeve. So if I ask you, where is the money card? You say in the sleeve, but the money card is not in here, but it's in here. Oh, what? Just saw clearly that the money card was on the sleeve, right? Let me show you one more time. Now in another way. Just a blank card in the sleeve. So now the money card is one of this one. Which one do you bet? This one? No. No. Because the money card is at the sleeve. Now, did you watch that I snapped my fingers moments ago? That's not just any action, but a hypnotic phenomenon. Let me show you with other cards, a kind of a more absurd approach, and then you show with the hypnotic, right? So it moves very fluidly. That first you do 1 phase, 2 phase with the 3 red cards and the money card, and then you say, watch, because the different card will be very explicit, even absurd, right? So then you go to the hypnotic Monte. This is kind of a lead-in, it's just a first approach, and then you show, and then obviously the different color backs make sense in a different way. Again, this is not the best. Most times I just perform the hypnotic Monte with different color backs, but if you want, you can add this first approach just with the 3 cards. Using the sleeve is a kind of a touch that allows you to have more convenient handlings, right? It's very interesting for people that you don't do any type of quick movements and still they can follow the money card. And again, it's a kind of a prelude to the idea of the snap, right? And this maybe sounds weird, but you need to rehearse your snap with the right hand or with the left hand, right? So prepare that pressure point, make that sounds with your palm. Even you can do a double. and be very careful because sometimes the fingers can hurt, but right, it's very important. Sounds like a small detail, but if you don't do it, there is no kind of moment of the hypnosis. Now let's see the real induction of Hypnotic Monte. So, Hypnotic Monte, as you can see, is not a card trick. It's not a gambling, cheating kind of you are dumb and I am cool, right? There's no money involved. It's just a pretending of money, or even you can say a lesson in why you don't need to play, which is kind of even educational for people. Some people really lose money in the 3 cards, Monte scam, and find the lady and all that. And when you use this hypnotic kind of reason, you also, if you hear the first script, say that everything is hypnosis, everything is suggestion. Be careful with the news, be careful with what you cultivate in your mind, which is a very interesting meaning, right? And the possibility of using this card piece of hypnotic astonishment as an induction is real. People will believe that there is a kind of distortion of perception, there is kind of a manipulation of the senses. If you do it in a credible way, then you show the hypnotic card, the 3 cards at the end, the climax, and then you can say, now watch me, and watch your eyes become tired, very good. And now close your eyes and sleep. Now go even deeper into a trance. And you can do it if you want. There is no need, but if you want and you feel that the participant is truly into a trance, has fascination in her eyes, you can do it. So you move not from a card trick, but kind of an induction using cards. So if you know hypnosis, if you are a mentalist, you can add this piece without any worries of, oh, I will do card tricks now. No, this is not a card trick in the sense of a magic trick or something that is not potentially credible. It's very credible, especially if you do the slide very slowly, if you don't put attention into the cards, but into the interaction of the perception of the very good. Now watch. What is the different card? Really? That's kind of the approach, right? So if you have this very clear idea, this is not a card trick. Again, don't say that. If you say this is not a card trick, the indirect meaning is that it's a card trick, right? You can say this is just a hypnotic exercise. Very good. Which is the different one? Ah, fantastic. You are very hypnotizable right now. So when you show the 3 cards, and people get astonishment. Astonishment is a very powerful entering into a new state of consciousness, right? If you know hypnosis or trance, you feel you are inside something different. So that's the invitation. Don't use this as a cool card trick with a 3 color change. It's not about that. You can do that if you want. If you are a card magician, do it. Do it as you want. My invitation for you is to do it as a real induction of hypnosis. Now, sometimes these types of routines are understood as pseudo-hypnosis, and I don't like that term because it's hypnosis. There's no pseudo-hypnosis. Every action that we do, if we say that is done by hypnosis or a hypnotic trance, if you do it correctly, it will be done. So this is a powerful induction for hypnosis using some cards, using a game, right? Mentalism as a game. And calling this a mentalism kind of strange. I prefer to understand it as a piece of astonishment, hypnotic mystery, right? Keep those ideas, learn how to use it properly, and you have a very practical piece that instantly resets, right? If you put the blue card and you have the revelation, you can keep that card again. The order takes 2 seconds and you are ready to do it one more time. So rehearse the movements, don't focus into the cards, focus on the interaction of the participant, and you have a very powerful hypnotic piece using this classic theme of the three-card Monte in a respectable way, in a human way. You are not saying people that they are fools, right? In this case, they are being hypnotized. So as you can see, the meaning of this is also very interesting. Be careful of the hypnosis around you, right? Very interesting. So thanks for your interest, thanks for your support. Anything that you need about this, let me know, and cultivate beautiful trances. Bye.